What's up everyone? Welcome to the newest episode of the Poker Blog. Today we are headed out for a pretty exciting session. We are playing the Thursday game, which is a 1-2, all the times 5, some of the times 10 game that really plays more like a 5-10 than like any sort of 1-2. Stacks get big, we're put to some big decisions, we end up in a massive all-in pot with ace-king. Come along with us for the ride. If you're new here, I'm Kenny. I'm a newly professional poker player. I lost my job. We're gonna make our money on the felt now. We're not working for anyone besides ourselves. Let's get to the tables. Time to clock in. Let's make some money. If you're new to the channel, please take a second, hit that subscribe button. It helps keep me motivated, helps keep me making more videos. Seeing a little bit of growth on the channel feels great. We just crossed 4,000 subscribers, so that's amazing. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Also, take a second, hit that thumbs up button below the video. Really helps out the channel, helps the video get promoted to more viewers, helps it pop up on your homepage if you're a subscriber, all that good stuff. Time to hop into the action, getting right after it in the very first hand. Okay guys, first hand off the deck. I haven't got my phone set up yet, so no table footage. I've got pocket nines. We're in the cutoff. I'm opening up to $15. We see a solid older player who plays an extremely wide range, raise it up to $35 from the button. Obviously, we're not going anywhere yet. We make the call and we end up going heads up to the flop. Not the best flop, not the worst flop. I check and my opponent bets $30. I think he's gonna do this pretty wide. I decide to make the call here. I think this is a super standard call against this player who has a very wide range in this spot. Turn comes down the king of hearts. Great card for me as it makes it way harder for him to have a king, and I'm going to have a ton of kings here. Obviously he'll have some, but that's okay. I check, and I think this could be a good check raise spot potentially. Let me know what you think. Unfortunately, he checks back, so we don't get to explore that option. We're off to see a river, which comes down the 5 of spades, so the front door flush draw gets there. He bets $25. This isn't a super fun spot. I actually think this is probably a fold. I think he can have some pure bluffs here and be trying to take this down, but the small sizing feels like it's crying for a call. Of course, I end up going into the tank, thinking about it for long enough, convincing myself to make the call. I put in the money and I get some really weird, really annoying news when he shows us pocket aces. So we're up against pocket aces. Yikes, we do not win the first one. I think we could have saved that last bet on the river. On to the next one.
That's gotta count.
That is played,
So very quickly after that first hand, still without my camera set up, we look down at pocket queens. I've got $300 in front of me from the $400 that I've bought in for so far. We see an open to $15 from a player to my right who I've seen play some much bigger games, so I think he's a pretty competent player. Obviously, I'm going to 3-bet here with this premium hand. I bump it up to $50, and he thinks for a second, not very long before making the call. He didn't think for long enough that I was worried he was going to 4-bet, so we aren't too worried. The best hand he can play this way, I think, would be ace-king, and he would probably 4-bet it here. Flop comes down, a weird one. It's 2-3-4 with 2 spades. He checks, I bet $40 here like I would do with almost all the hands that I would 3-bet, and he makes the call. Turn comes down the 4 of diamonds, pairing the board. Seems like a pretty good card for me, although I don't really think I'm going to have needed help in this spot. He checks, I'm going to continue to try and get value here, so I bet $100. And he goes into the tank a little bit while complaining outwardly, saying that that card sucks, now he has to fold. Sure enough, he folds and shows us a really weird hand. He's got 2-3 of diamonds, so yikes, we got outflopped in a huge way, bailed out on the turn. Thank God we got bailed out here. He could have stacked us in this hand. That would have really sucked. Glad we didn't get coolered in this spot. That was a close one. We're going to file away that this dude is opening those kind of hands and calling 3-bets with them. So on to the next hand, on to some table footage. Okay, jumping into some hand footage here. We've got ace queen suited from middle position, starting the hand off with about 400 bucks. I open to 15 here and we get calls from the cutoff and the button. Not a great situation, so I'm going to be fully out of position in this hand. Flop makes this bad situation worse as it's a full whiff for me. Don't really know what we can do here with this one, guys. I check and we get some bad information, or some bad news that is, when the cutoff bets out 30 bucks. That's going to be a big yikes for us. I don't think there's really any point in continuing with this hand. I know we've got some backdoors and stuff like that, but it's just not enough. We're going to fold. We're going to look for a better spot. So no table footage for this hand. I'm not sure what happened. Must have lost it. It didn't get deleted. I don't know what happened to it. We've got ace jack offsuit from the big blind, starting this hand off with about 350 bucks. Button straddles at $10. Small blind calls. I make it 45 bucks, and we see an active young player on the button make the call. So we would rather just taken this one down. That's okay. Flop comes down, ace high, ace 9-4. I bet $35 like I would do with the majority of my hands. A little down bet here seems very okay, and he folds without thinking about it for too long. So let me know what you guys think about down bets. I think it's a pretty standard part of the game at this point, but I want to know what your opinions are. So win this hand, on to the next one. This hand is the biggest hand of the night. We're looking down at ace king offsuit from middle position, starting the hand off with about 400 bucks. We see the under the gun player open to 15. He's an active young player. We're gonna make the 3-bet. We raise it up to $50, and he thinks about it for a little bit before clicking it back. Yeah guys, he's gonna click it back. We are facing a 4-bet here in this spot. He's 4-betting here to $165. Not great, not a situation we're in love with, but we are gonna have to play back. We can't be scared here. We're gonna go for it. We are thinking about it for a little bit, but we're not gonna be thinking about it for too long because we are putting it in here. We are gonna go all in for our $400. I think it's a little bit deep for this. I'd feel more comfortable if we had around 300 bucks here, but I don't think it's terrible. I need help in the comments though. Please let me know what you would do here facing this action. Like I said, he raised it up for $160 and we are going all in. We put it all in here for $400. He's not thrilled, but he only thinks a couple for seconds, but we're making the call. We agree to run it twice. I show my hand and he shows us pocket queens. Can we win 2 flips? We are staring at a huge pot out there in the middle. Let's go one time. Please let us get there.
Burned and out.
Let's flop a set. The next picture's on you. Next picture's on you.
No help for us on this one. We can't even chop it up. Did we make the right decision here? Being results oriented, it certainly felt bad in the moment. We're stuck, but the game looks good. We're gonna get back in there. We're gonna get after it. That's a massive flip. That was a ton of money in the middle. Would have felt great if we could at least chop it. Didn't feel great putting it in with ace king here, so let me know what you think. Yikes, let's regroup. Buying in for $400 more. We are off to play some more hands. Looking down at king jack offsuit in this one, starting off about 400 bucks. We're gonna make the call of $10 pre-flop, and we're going 5 ways to the flop. Very multi-way to a rainbow flop, which gives us a gut shot, straight draw to the nuts. We see the big blind donk lead out to $15 here, which I think is a little bit weird. I decide we're gonna go ahead and make the call. We see one other call behind us, and we are off to see a turn. We've got one card in mind here, guys. Everybody hit that like button. See if we can conjure up a queen. I guess not enough of you hit the like button because we did not get a queen. We got the 7 on the turn. The big blind bets out $65. I'm folding here. Not too much to do. We're laying it down. On to the next one. Following up that boring hand with ace king, we've got ace jack offsuit. We're in the hijack, starting the hand with about 375 bucks. I'm gonna go ahead and raise it up to $15 here pre-flop, and we only get one caller. It's a player who tends to, if he gets up a lot, to get very tight or very loose. In this situation, I think he's getting loose. Doesn't seem like he particularly cares for me, so he's trying to play hands against the young guy. Flop comes down king high, all spades, so we're gonna bet out $20 here. We don't mind it at all if he makes the call. We wait a little bit, he goes a little bit into the tank, but before too long, he makes the call. So we are off to see a turn. Great card for us. It's not a spade, but it is the jack of clubs. We are going to be betting out here again. No reason to wait around. If he called the flop, maybe he'll call the turn. We bet out $55 and we see this guy go well into the tank. Do we think he's going to make the call after he tanks? Not really. Do we think he's going to unnecessarily tank and take the table's time? Yes. But eventually he folds. We take this one down. Nice little pot to win. Glad we got a little bit of value on the flop. Would have been great to maybe play a much bigger pot, but oh well. Take it down. On to the next one. In the next hand, we're looking down at ace king again, starting the hand off with about 400 bucks. I open to 15 after action folds to me, and it gets to the small blind who starts talking. I ask if he wants to flip for it all, since flipping for it all went so well for him with the pocket queens versus ace king hand, and he asks if we can put in 30 and run it. I say sure, and we are off to see a full run out.
I'm dead. I'm not dead. 6. I'm dead. That was a good turn card for you.
We end up taking this one down against 5-3 offsuit. I think we won the maximum in this hand. We'll take it. Not a monster. Another situation where we put in the money and then run it out. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. I haven't really gotten anybody's opinion. I showed it on the last video. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the whole put the money in and then run it out for these like small pots where it gets down to heads up with a decision to be made. Kind of a weird situation. We've never really had this exact thing happen at a poker table before, but we start feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm getting really sweaty, clammy feeling a little bit lightheaded. Don't really know what's going on. Really not feeling myself. The game's full. It seems pretty good, so I don't want to leave. There are people waiting, not that that factors into my decision that much, but we decide we're really not feeling our best. We got to get out of here. I'm hot, I'm sweaty. We're gonna go ahead and cash out a loss here. It feels bad, does not feel good. This is not what we wanted to do. Unfortunately, this is an in for 800, out for 400 and something type scenario. I'll put the actual numbers up here. Physically not all there. I'm not really sure what happened, if I had some sort of bug. Woke up the next day feeling absolutely fine. Didn't film an outro on my way out or get video of me cashing out. Unfortunately, just was not feeling it. So we're back at full health. We'll have another video for you next week. You can look for my videos every single Tuesday. They'll always be there. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Hit that like button. Help this video get promoted a little bit. Have a good one, guys. See you next time. We're going to be playing in the Thursday game a lot, so there's going to be some big decisions, big pots coming up. Thanks for watching, and consider watching one of my old videos. They're going to pop up right around here somewhere. Have a good rest of your night. See you next Tuesday.